We're about to dive into what is basically one of the most important job interviews in all of history. Seriously, it happens in the absolute middle of nowhere. It involves a bush that's on fire but somehow not burning up, and it's a conversation that will literally change the course of a nation. So let's break down this incredible story from Exodus chapter 3.
So here's the big question, right? How does a guy who's basically an outcast, a shepherd hiding out in the desert, get handpicked by God for a mission that is, let's be honest, completely impossible? This ancient story is all about that wild transformation.
All right, so our story kicks off with something totally bizarre, something that just shouldn't be happening. Out in the quiet of the wilderness, something appears that breaks all the rules of nature, and it forces this lone shepherd to stop dead in his tracks and figure out what on earth he's seeing.
So let's paint a picture here. You've got Moses just doing his job, a pretty boring one at that, tending sheep. He's way out on the far side of the wilderness at a place called Horeb. Now, yeah, it's known as the mountain of God, but for Moses on this particular day, it's just another day at the office. And then he sees this thing, something that his brain just can't compute. There's a bush, and it's engulfed in flames, but it isn't turning to ash. It's not being consumed at all. It just burns. And right there, his totally ordinary day is officially over.
So, of course, he's got to get a closer look, right? And as he approaches, a voice calls out to him from inside the fire. Can you imagine? Moses, Moses. And Moses, who must have been absolutely stunned, just manages to reply, "Here I am." The conversation has officially started.
The very first instruction he gets isn't some grand mission detail. It's about reverence. Take off your sandals. Why? Because the place you're standing is holy ground. With just those words, a random patch of desert dirt is transformed into a sacred space, simply because of a divine presence.
Okay, so the stage is set. We have this holy ground, this unbelievable sight, and now we get to the real reason for the whole encounter. This burning bush isn't just a spectacle, it's the setting for a divine job interview. And the assignment is, well, it's just about impossible.
Before God even gives the assignment, he explains the why. And this is so important. This isn't some random power play. It's a mission born out of deep empathy. The voice says, "I have seen the misery. I have heard their crying. I am concerned about their suffering." This whole thing is a direct response to injustice and pain. And then, bam, he drops the bombshell, the actual assignment. So now, go. I am sending you to Pharaoh. Just think about that for a second. The target is the most powerful man in the known world. And the goal? Oh, just bring an entire nation of slaves out of Egypt. It's an absolutely monumental, staggering task for one guy with a shepherd's staff.
So how does Moses react to this divine draft notice? Not with a confident, "Yes, sir," or an enthusiastic, "I'm on it." Nope. He responds the way most of us probably would, with immediate, crippling self-doubt.
And here is the core conflict in a nutshell. On one side, you've got the divine command, "I am sending you." On the other, the gut-level human reaction, "Who am I that I should go?" It's that question we've all asked ourselves when facing something huge. Why me? I'm not qualified for this.
God's answer here is just so profound. He doesn't give Moses a pep talk or list his qualifications. The reassurance isn't about who Moses is, it's about who will be with him. The answer is as simple as it is powerful. I will be with you.
Now, "I will be with you" is a huge deal. But let's be real. Moses is a practical guy. He needs more than just reassurance. He needs a name he can use, some credentials, and a concrete plan he can actually follow.
So Moses pushes back a little with a totally legitimate concern. He says, look, suppose I go to the Israelites and tell them their God sent me. Their very first question is going to be, okay, which God? What's his name? He needs an answer. He needs an authority to cite.
And the answer he gets, man, it's one of the most mysterious and foundational statements ever recorded. God says to Moses, "Tell them my name is I am who I am." It's not just a name, it's a declaration of ultimate reality.
So what does that even mean? Well, unlike the names of other gods, this isn't a simple label. It's a statement of self-existence. It means the one who has no beginning and no cause, the one who simply is. This is the ultimate authority that Moses is now armed with.
But even a powerful name isn't enough. Moses needs a strategy, a playbook, and God provides one, step by step.
First, get your own people on board. Then, go to Pharaoh with a reasonable-sounding request. And, this part is absolutely crucial, the plan includes the expectation of failure. God tells him flat out, the king will refuse. This prepares Moses for that inevitable resistance.
And then there's one last fascinating detail. The plan doesn't just end with freedom, it ends with a form of justice. The enslaved people won't just walk away with nothing. They will leave with the wealth of their oppressors, silver, gold, clothing. It's like receiving generations of back pay all at once.
So, the shepherd has his mission, a divine name, and a plan of action. The stage is set for a historic confrontation. But the question that's going to drive the rest of this incredible story is simple. When you're facing down the most powerful king on earth, is a promise of divine presence really enough to conquer your fear?